Hello. Very good afternoon to one and all. First of all, welcome to FOSDEM. Seeing a lot of geeks around here. Yeah. Uh, Topic for like my session is persona. Like how many of you actually know or about heard about persona? Can I have some hands? Okay. So yeah, persona is generally it's login system. It's similar to uh, single sign-on, but let's see how it is different and why you have to opt for this, and how we can on which protocol it's working, and we'll see its specs and all. So how Mozilla persona is useful for users, how it is easy to implement this for developers, and how the protocol works on this. So Mozilla persona, as I said, it's a better way to sign in or a login system like single sign-on. So this basically helps users to log in quickly on secure manner, and it doesn't ask you a password. So it's something which is different from single sign-on. So when you do single sign-on, we need to actually depend on third parties, like in order to authenticate the credentials, right? And it asks to share your privacy information, like maybe your phone number. Like let's consider an example, whenever we log in through Facebook, via Facebook, or to any other site, it asks you to share information, to access the information of your email and phone number, or so that we get a lot of mails, and they can post on your wall without asking your permission. And it also has many privacy issues. So like I'll just show you like what's the current state of sign. So this is how, when we see a website, it asks you to log in via Google or Facebook or Yahoo. So when you say these kind of errors we come across when even we use when try to log in via Facebook and all. So, and this is the main concern of everyone, that everyone's information is being shared on social, so which in turns have like lot of. So the better way to sign in is use Mozilla Persona, which actually helps you to sign in very easily. Just create an account, and next it asks you to enter your email ID. So the Persona mainly takes email addresses as a unique values and then proceeds for the login. So you can it so this is like a screenshot of how you manage email IDs in the browser. So, and the supported browsers are like almost every version of Firefox supports it, and remaining all. And as you know, everyone know that Mozilla Firefox has introduced the Firefox OS, and in that we natively supports this Persona sign on. So why we have to focus specially on developers, and why it is easy for them to implement this kind of sign-in system. So as I said, it's very easy to implement. There are like about 4 steps. You just include the JavaScript file of that, and then put login buttons, and then verify it, and that's it. So I say it's a federated protocol because it doesn't actually ask you to log in via. It's like a database only with unique values of email IDs. It doesn't want any other information. So whenever you just give your email ID as a login, it actually validates of if you give your email ID as @yahoo.com. So it in turns asks you for the first time to log into Yahoo, and then it actually checks whether the email ID is existing and whether it is correct or not, and then it turns back to your site, and then it's login. And as I said, it helps not to share your personal and privacy information into other websites, and you don't need to store passwords, and you don't need to rely on third parties. So again, this in turn eliminates the registration form. So whenever you visit a new website, it's horrible to register every site and keeping in memory that each every website, every login and password. It's very difficult, and sometimes they ask for username, sometimes they ask for a user email ID. So it's like complicated. So this persona like in turn eliminates the registration and all stuff. So again, it's open, and whenever you use this persona implementation for your websites, you don't need to whenever there is a patch submission or patch the next version of this system releases, you don't need to take care of again updating your source code or single sign-on system on your website. So it turn takes from the update and it just updates. So this like the freedom we give for developers is like you can change as you UX as you want, and in turn it's like translated and available in like 48 languages. And so where we actually use in Mozilla the persona login. So in like everyone knows, like Mozillians.org is very profile for every Mozillian who is actually volunteering. So in that we use this single sign-on persona, and even in Firefox Marketplace, and even Bugzilla, and even in Open Batches and Batchpack. So in the morning they were discussing about WebMaker. So in that also, in order to log in, you can just log in via persona, where it asks you the credentials. I'll just show you the demo afterwards. And there are other sites which uses persona as a login system, is like Woost, which is event management system, and this is Sting, might be like people may be knowing. This site basically deals with the amount of data used, the amount of messages and all. And discussion forum, like these are few websites which actually have implemented this persona, and it was like very success. So and even if you are, it's not like if your website is like HTML or some HTML, you can use persona. If it is like implemented on PHP, you can use this, and it has like lot of libraries and plugins as I showed you. And let me tell you, like this persona is basically working on a browser ID protocol. So let me even tell you like how that browser ID protocol works. Mainly this protocol has three actors: users, relaying parties, and identity providers. Users are quite like common who used to log in the web, and relaying parties where like let's take as example as WebMaker. Webmaker.org is like relaying party, and identity provider is something like which we use as a login. Like if at all you use Yahoo something at yahoo.com as a login, so that would be like identity provider. So like how this work, I'll just tell in like 3 steps. Like this is how when you click on sign in, it takes your email as an input, and browser ID's password, like I mean to say persona's password for the first time, and then it generates a key value pair, stores its private key in the PC, and sends its public key to identity authority, and then they sign with the public key and then email ID, and they'll issue with validity interval like certificate, and then it sends that certificate again back to a user. And after it received by the user, it has to prove the ownership. So again the user's browser writes some kind of assertion in which its email ID and key and other details are present, and that assertion is again sent to relaying party like with user certificate, and then it's validated. So this is something like overview, like where your user rate you log in, and from identity provider it is like validated, and then you can just log into the website. I'll just show you a demo of that. So like in the morning they were saying like we want to like log in into webmaker site, then we have to use like login persona. It's like, so I have already used many times login. If someone could come and try, they want to log in into this site, then we can. So it's not asking me any password or anything. I'm just, yeah, I'm logged in. So it's like very easy. Someone wants to try. Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Like if it is Firefox browser, then with the option called Firefox Sync, if suppose you are you have logged in your desktop Firefox browser, so and you have the same sync key in your Android phone, then you can directly log in. So I think it's clear. So in this we have sync now. So this is the option I was telling about. I think I'll use my other email ID rather than this. Just remove this or else, yeah. So it's now verifying with Gmail, because I have entered at the rate Gmail. I'm already. Might be if someone wants to can try.
Are there restrictions on the email address?
As of I knew, it's at Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail. It's working fine.
Okay.
Any email address should break. It just goes to the fallback.
Yeah.
It's something that.
I forgot the Unicode number. It doesn't matter. Because I have a domain with a Unicode character, and it's a Google Apps domain, but I just don't have it here. Let's try this.
Yeah, mine is asking for me. It's currently.
This
One second.
looks suspicious.
Yeah, should work now. It's still the. Thanks.
Google is so
So now I can try.
Yeah.
last password, your password.
Yeah. Yeah, for the first time, you need to validate.
Yay! Phone call.
We got it.
Very trustworthy. So now we all know the code.
Yeah. It only. Wow, there we go.
That's a good start. Okay, what do I do now?
You have logged into the website, so you can. Yeah. Oh.
This is valid, right?
Yeah, you're successfully logged in.
Yay.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you should have done that in a private browsing window.
Yeah.
Pardon? Yeah. I think it will show him. I just try to log in mine or his. I have to remove your name. Verify. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm done. Yeah. Uh, like I did not understand. Okay, that means to say like it's
How can I prevent you from logging in? I suspect it's stored as a cookie.
yeah, you can go.
I think I can answer this question. You can go to login.persona.org and you can there clear all the persona logins so that it will not log you in anymore. So you can.
I think
Can I do it from another computer?
Not yet. They're still thinking about that. When you run your personal identity provider, then you could take down your identity provider to do something like it, and that would probably work. So, for example, I have my own IDP, and if I would want to revoke any certificates that are out there for me, then I could take down my IDP to prevent people from logging in with those certificates signed with my earlier private key.
If I understand well, if you run your own identity provider, the identity provider will be your domain of your email address.
yes.
You log in with the Gmail domain. This means Gmail support persona, or there is some kind of fallback.
Yeah.
Yes, the question, I will repeat the question for you. The question was that you said that since identity providers are bound to the domain for the email address, and we just showed login in with Gmail, the question is if Google supports Persona, and the answer is it does not directly, but the Persona team has built a couple of bridges that allow using the Google OAuth API to act as an identity provider. So you're really logging into gmail.login.persona.org, and it uses the Gmail APIs to reuse their credentials, and that works for Yahoo and Gmail today.
Yes.
Does this work with Internet Explorer?
Yes.
How?
Pardon?
Do you want to answer the question?
No, I think he has already said.
So yes, it does work, and it's because it's all JavaScript mostly.
Thank you. Thanks all.
Yes, a big applause for him because he has done a lot of kilometers to come here. So really, it deserves. Congrats, really.